No worries.
Here we go, and we're live. Hey, Bill, thanks for taking a little time to talk to my class today. The first question is a nice and easy one. Who are you, where are you from, and where do you work?
So my name is Bill Kindig. I'm from St. Louis. Graduated from Ranken in 2013, I think, December. Started working in the industry right away. So I've been doing contracts since then. I've had about 5 contracts, and now I'm in a permanent role that I've been in for a couple of years, working in C#.net environment.
Okay, so that's great to hear because our students are learning C#.net next semester.
Oh,
So maybe you can motivate them to study hard.
good.
So
Study
tell me,
hard.
yeah, there you go. Tell me why they should study hard to be a good .NET developer.
It's a really in-demand thing. So React is in demand. C# is the most used language that I've seen. VB is kind of being phased out. So you'll have no problems finding a job if you know C#.net, MVC, React, JavaScript. If you know all those, you'll be solid in the market.
So they'll have good employability skills if they know those languages.
Right.
Yeah. So you graduated. Remind me of the year 2013.
I think 2013.
2013. So you've been out there for about six. Wait a minute, my math is terrible. 8 years. Um, what have you learned along the way? What has helped you along the way that can kind of help newbies kind of get their foot in the door?
Let me think. So the first thing, as soon as I started working, the first thing I noticed that was like I hadn't really learned before was the thought. How do I like? I didn't learn Git or TFS. I don't think we learned that.
We do
That was
now.
kind of
We
just.
that is now
Oh,
part of like
you.
day one. Yeah, we got Git. All of our students have repos, and it. But yeah, you're right. Back then it wasn't. I don't even know when it became a thing, but back then it wasn't in the curriculum. Yeah.
Oh man, my first job trying to learn what those things were and how they work. That was really complicated to me. That was what I struggled with the most.
Yeah. So your advice would be to learn Git.
Yeah, Git is probably used more than TFS, but they're both really popular.
Yeah. Cool. So I see you're working from home, obviously, and so how long have you been doing that?
We started right when the pandemic started, so February of 2019.
Yeah,
Yeah.
20. Was it 19 or 2020? Either way. We're,
I forget.
and are you ever going back? Or are you from home full time now?
I'm from home full time.
Full time. You told me that they don't even have an office anymore. Is that right?
Yeah, after a while, after we started working from home and they realized that it was working out pretty well, they didn't renew the lease on the office. So that was when it was official that we're full time remote.
Did you list the name of your company? Who do you work for?
Well, I work for National General Insurance, but we just got acquired by AllState last year, so technically I work for AllState now.
Okay, and you work with C#.net. Can you kind of describe maybe what you work on and what a day is like in your life?
Yeah, I work on external facing sites and internal sites. Right now I'm working on a project it's an external facing site. It's for customers to log in, um, pay their bills, view statements, things like that. We call it our customer portal. And that specific project is an MVC 5 C#. We use JavaScript Bootstrap. We use Razor views. We use models it's an API driven application. So there's
Nice.
a server there. I don't really touch that. I'm mostly on the front end.
Can you repeat that last piece?
There's a service layer. So this is an API driven application. So I'm working on the actual application, not the service layer.
Okay.
So I'll tie the website back into the APIs to fetch the data and then display it.
Awesome. Awesome. So anybody in the class have AllState Insurance? AllState, right?
I think
All day.
We got one student with Allstate. So do you ever log into their website?
I do. No, my dad still pays for it.
Okay, all right. Does the parent who pays the insurance, does he log into the website?
He probably does.
All right. So you're probably have used some of the code that he's written.
Yeah, probably.
Uh, any idea how many users do use the site? I'm just kind of curious.
Oh man, I really don't even have a sense. It's a lot though. I just know it's a lot.
Yeah. How many people are on your team?
I'm actually on two teams. The first person is just a supervisor, one coworker, and myself. That's for the smaller team. And then the other team I'm on is a team of 12.
Nice.
And that's developers, that's testers, a couple of business people, and a supervisor.
Okay. And so, what's a day like in your life? You get out of bed. You got a couple kids now. Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, I get out of bed just in time for my first stand up. So like, yeah. First couple hours of the day are meetings, and then just write code the rest of the day.
So you get 8 hours a day on average.
Yeah, I try to.
Try
It's
to.
pretty. They give me a lot of freedom, so I mean, as long as I get work done, they don't really care when I work, as long as I attend meetings. So I tend to work weird hours sometimes.
Okay. So do you have a stand up every day at the same time?
Yeah, we have like, and this is really typical once you get your first job. There will always be stand-ups. Sometimes if you're on multiple teams, there's multiple stand-ups. And those are every day, just kind of, here's what I'm working on, here's what I plan to get accomplished today.
Yeah.
What are stand up?
Yeah. Could you go into that a little bit more, describing that
Stand
stand up?
Stand-ups, well, they get their name because all the developers would be maybe in some cubicles or wherever. We would stand up and we would just have a conversation. We would go around in a circle and we would say what we're working on and what we want to work on today. And even though we're remote, we still use the term stand up. It just means meeting and plans for our day for each of us.
Like what you're trying to accomplish for the day, as well as any roadblocks that you might be hitting.
Yeah, and then those things will be addressed in the stand ups too.
Okay. And that's pretty normal workflow. Is like the first thing in the morning, you got a couple stand ups.
Yeah, so I'll do two stand ups because I'm on two teams. And then off and on throughout the day, just working on what I'm currently working on.
Yeah. Nice. And so, you would estimate in an 8 hour workday, maybe 6 hours of code and 2 hours of meetings.
I would say 2 hours of meetings and 3 hours of code.
3 hours of code.
Depends on what the day looks like. Sometimes I work a lot within a day. Sometimes I don't manage to get much done because there's things going on around the house or something. As I said, it's a lot of freedom to work when and how much I need to.
Well, I mean, it's pretty awesome because I've been doing these interviews, and you're maybe the fifth or sixth one that I've done. And literally 100% of everyone's working from home. And that's so appealing to someone who's just now in the industry. I don't know, a lot of people do want to work in an office setting, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people want to work from home. And at least my observation, you included, is that, yeah, we're all from home yet. So I know
Yeah.
people like to see that.
Yeah, I didn't mind working in an office and I don't mind working from home. I could really go either way.
Yeah. Yeah. How far was the commute from? Well, first off, do you still live in St. Louis?
Yeah, I'm actually moving next month.
Where are you moving to?
I'm moving to Houston.
Get out.
I am.
All right. Congrats. There's a lot more people in Houston. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's like I think it's the third biggest city in the country.
Third biggest city. Yeah, I remember comparing the sizes at St. Louis to Houston because I visited Houston, and it's not even close. And
Yeah.
and it's also I went in the summer and I just melted. So I hope that I hope that you can deal with the heat because I didn't like it, but whatever.
Oh, I like the heat. I hate the winter. That's one of the big reasons we're moving.
Okay, well, hey man, I'm happy for you. Congrats.
Thanks.
How many kids now?
Two and one on the way. So we got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and then one on the way.
Awesome. Awesome. So can you show off your setup, your home setup, like your desk area? Just kind of what's it like? And you said you're in your office.
I didn't plan to show it because it's kind of messy. So, just headphones for stand-ups. Not a whole lot. I mean, it's nothing fancy. I do one 28-inch monitor.
I mean, that's
I-
nice. That's a nice setup. If I had to critique it, I'd ask why you only have one monitor. That I would have guessed more.
Well, I used to do more, but then I started valuing. I went for the minimalist setup.
Ah,
So I want to go wireless on everything next, and just have a lot of clear desk space. And I'm always messing with my setup. Actually, so I got a computer here. This is my personal computer, my work laptop here,
okay.
and then I wire these two, this mouse and this keyboard. I wire to a switch, so where I can push a button to switch it from my laptop to my home computer.
Very nice. Very nice. Very
That's
nice.
really
So, oh, I just had a question and it went in and I lost it here. Let me reset. Um, what? Okay, so you kind of offered some advice, which is learn Git. Safe to say that hopefully they're learning Git through school. What else should they do to prepare themselves for their first job?
not sure if I have a good answer for that. Stack Overflow is when you Google something, look for the Stack Overflow result. Don't go for any of the other ones that are going to pop up. It's mostly going to be Stack Overflow. Those offer the best answers, I feel like.
And did you ever have side projects at all?
Uh, Off and on, but I really never got into that because I love my job, but I also have a lot of hobbies, so I never really got into side projects. A lot of my coworkers do, but
Now, you told me about a side project. I guess we can't talk about it on on the camera.
yeah, we can't talk about that.
Okay,
But
okay.
and that's one of the few that I had.
Fair enough, fair enough. I was like, I know you got a side project. Oh wait, it's not inappropriate, but let's just not put it on recording. Fair enough. Okay.
It's not that it's not safe for work. It's just that I'm being timed out here. Okay, cool. So
Yep, I got it. Generally speaking, what kind of salary expectations would you put on someone who's just kind of coming out of college? Like, I would tell you that some people have realistic expectations and unrealistic expectations. What kind of guidance would you offer?
I can tell you what I think is common. I don't mind giving my numbers if that's okay.
Whatever you prefer, man. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
So my first job was at 50K. That was right out of school.
In 2013.
Uh-huh.
All right.
And then let's see, I had like 4 or 5 contracts. So it went to like 50 to 60. Then I had like a 62, then a 70. And right now I'm sitting at about 90.
And how old are you?
I'm 32.
That's an incredible salary for a 32-year-old.
Yeah, the pay is really nice. And I think that 50K starting out is pretty common. Maybe it's even more now.
You're gonna have to make more money in Houston, though. I bet you that cost of living's a little bit higher there, huh?
No, it's lower, and I'm not living in Houston. I'm living like West Harris County, so I'm not going to be living in the city.
The cost of living is lower in Houston.
Well, not in Houston City. We're not moving to Houston City. We're moving to a suburb of Houston. In Texas, real estate, for example, is just really cheap.
Come on, real estate's through the roof right now. You
No, I mean the house. I'm getting a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,700 square foot house for $300,000. And if I bought that here in St. Louis, anywhere in the St. Louis area, that would cost maybe $500,000.
Okay. You seem to have known your research. I understand Texas is a popular place. A lot of people are moving there, so I would have guessed that Texas real estate is higher than St. Louis real estate.
No, go and do some research. I mean, you can get a lot of house for not much money there.
Cool. And
Might be, but
I'm guessing you're staying with your employer because you're fully remote.
Yeah, so I can just move wherever I want, so they don't mind if we move.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, literally a couple students, they both just look at me and go, "That's awesome."
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, let's do that.
What happens if you have like questions and you can't really find the answer on Stack Overflow? Do you have like a good resource at your job to ask questions to?
Yeah, that's and you'll learn as you get to know people in your company. You're like, oh, this guy knows a lot about this. This guy knows a lot about this. There's always people you can ask. There's always like for example, we use Microsoft Teams. We used to use Skype. There's always a chatting application to where you can just message one of your coworkers or your supervisor.
Now I have a question. Are you on wired or wireless?
I've been switching back and forth a lot. I think I'm wireless now.
Yeah, you're a little choppy. I could tell. If you were on the wire, we might be a little smoother here.
Oh, you mean my phone? Yeah, my phone's just. Am I connected to Wi-Fi? Hold on.
Oh, we're coming through the phone.
Yeah, he's on his phone.
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
Are you still an Android guy? I remember back in the day. Okay, this is what I remember a lot about you. Listen, you had an old Galaxy phone. Remember? You had those old Samsung Galaxies. And this was probably like the Galaxy 3. And you and I would talk about the pros and cons of buying these expensive Android phones versus buying like a lower budget model. And I would always make the argument that you can get a lot of phone for a lot cheaper, and you would just have to have the latest and greatest. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, and I'm not that way anymore. I mean, I've changed a lot since, in terms of finances. My fiscal responsibility went up since then.
Fair enough. You have kids, so you
We just buy all of our phones outright. And by the way, I switched to iPhone because my wife's an iPhone person, and she got me to switch.
I'm an Android person. I got my wife to switch. I just see how that goes. Would you go back to Android if it was easy to do?
No, I prefer iPhone now. I was with
Wow.
Android time, and I actually prefer. I mean, Android. Here's the way I see it: Android phones are more like small computers that are really powerful. You can do anything with them. But iPhones are more closed off, but their battery life, from what I've seen, is better. Also, they don't slow down. Like Androids would slow down after a few years when I was using them. I had my last iPhone for 5 years, and it was still like lightning fast.
It's really interesting that you mentioned the slowing down because Apple was in a big scandal for slowing down their phones as they got older.
Yeah, because of the software updates. You mean?
Yeah, remember that? And their battery life and all that. So to maintain the battery life. So, anyways, I had the opposite experience when I switched from iPhone to. Anyways, we're getting off topic. It's funny. We had opposite experiences. So, any other questions from the class? Let me see if I can come up with any more. If not, we can kind of call this. What are your hobbies?
Video games, table tennis, chess.
Now, are you on chess.com?
Yeah, chess.
Okay. I would love to play you. I started playing chess in July this year.
In July, what's your rating?
1150?
Okay, I'm only about 900, so maybe I'm not even 900 yet.
All right, good.
Or-
Good. I can beat you. 'Cause I couldn't beat you at table tennis. Excuse me. Everyone calls it ping pong. I couldn't beat you there, but maybe I could beat you at some chess. Awesome.
Do you do the 15-minute or what?
I do the 10-minute games.
Okay. I
Yeah.
usually do 15-5.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know. I think it was the default setting was a 10-minute game, so I just stuck with that.
Yeah, I could probably do that too because there's usually time. There's usually plenty of time, and sometimes those are a little slow. So
Yeah, I always brag on you because you're the one guy that correct me if I'm wrong here, but you were on Team USA. I believe you said something like to that extent.
Yeah, I'm on the USA table tennis team.
And what does that mean?
It just means that you've went to a sanctioned tournament and you've gotten yourself a ranking. That's really all it is.
Okay, right on, right on. Yeah, yeah. I always tell the story that when we played, I might have been lucky to get a couple points on you. You said I could tell you're a good basement player.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you said that, and I said that's the most amazing backhanded compliment I've ever received. But hey, man.
Besides,
Well, congrats on your, huh?
besides California, Texas is the best state to be for table tennis.
Texas is pretty good for table tennis.
Yeah, it's like second best to California.
That's why you're going to Houston.
That's a big part of it, yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, hey, man, I just want to, on record, congratulate you for your success in this industry. I wish every student could graduate and get a good job like you. I hope the best for my students, that they can do that. And thanks for answering those questions.
Hey, all I gotta say to everyone in the room is stick with it. It's a great industry. As long as you can stick with it, you'll be happy in the industry and you'll be successful.
Thank you, Bill. You're the man.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll be in touch and we're gonna play some chess.
Sounds good.
All right, later, man.
All right, see you.
Bye.